We should probably do a review.
Oh yeah. It's kind of hard because like we did fuck with the game a lot in terms of cheating and stuff. But go ahead.
Stream marker. It's a little unfair, I guess, of me to review it because I mean this is 100% not my kind of game in any way. Yeah, it's hard for me to review just because.
Whoa.
Oh my god. That was totally unnecessary. It's too long. The gameplay, actual like battle stuff is not very exciting. The story sucks. I'm not trying to be super harsh. I'm really not. I mean, it's just this is not my scene.
I think things about it like aged pretty badly, but I think the other aspect is like I don't know, as I've gotten older, I just don't really have the patience for certain things. Like I don't know, I just don't have the patience for it. Some of these story threads, like I said, are very recycled.
Yes.
From other Final Fantasy games, and I do think that ultimately the battle system is probably certainly better than the Final Fantasy VIII battle system with its annoying junctioning system, which I didn't like. But we also kind of ruined the game a little bit with the cheating a little bit, obviously, and we were just trying to grind it out at the end. But
yeah, that's the thing. But if we hadn't done that,
I think like
we wouldn't even be half through it.
You know, I don't think it's the kind of game that you can. Oh my god! It's also not the kind of game I think that you can like cooperatively go through and be like, oh, we're playing it together, because like, you know, if I was playing this by myself, probably would have had a lot more fun with it in terms of like, oh, I'm going through this adventure.
Well, because you actually play it like the way it's supposed to be played.
The way it's supposed to be played, but we were just kind of like, we're riffing on the story, yada yada yada. Dang girl.
Right? Yeah, so,
I just think that there's a lot of things, especially the Final Fantasy game, a lot of the Final Fantasy games, I think especially relied a lot on whiz-bang kind of appeal. Really good music, really good graphics for the time, and like art design and a lot of other stuff, and kind of like solid core gameplay, but just a lot of, and like competent story, but some of those things just don't hold up over time as much.
Yeah. It's also crazy because it's like, you know, at least I feel like a quarter of the story is nothing more than filler that does not move the story forward.
There's also weird things where they're like, maybe it's also because we started skipping like the random battles, but like they just did a really bad job of integrating the story into the gameplay.
Yes.
Where it's like you'll go and you're like playing your fight and your battle and whatever, and then it's like, oh, now we're back. Now we're gonna spend like a half hour scrolling through, like 20 minutes scrolling through text or something like that. And then in this one in particular, I feel like they didn't do a great job of balancing out character stories either.
No.
Like, there was really only 3 characters that got a decent amount of story. Maybe there was like side quests where you could get more, but it really was like Vivi, Zidane, and Dagger.
That's it.
And the rest of the characters really didn't get a whole lot of...
No.
Whereas I feel like in some of the other ones, I felt like there was a lot more... At least in Final Fantasy VII, I felt like there was a decent amount of backstory for all the characters.
I also think it's odd that at the end of the game, there is this much cinema.
Yeah. I mean, we sped through, but I mean, you have to imagine that it's like, if you enjoyed it and you invested in it and you like the storyline, and it's like, I mean, it really is like the conclusion of like a 40-hour movie, you know? Like,
yeah.
Hey, Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Here it is, the end.
What would you give it out of 10? I feel like I can't even give it. I don't.
Yeah, don't even give it a score.
Yeah.
I would give it, I think at this day and age, probably like Probably like a 7.5.
You score shit way too high. Oh my god.